Yeah,
Adobe.
on earthen buildings and like with bamboo.
Okay,
Yeah, any sustainable approach.
interesting.
That it was because of that group dynamics that really shaped me.
People feel like, okay, let's just move to abroad or maybe fill your packets and things like that. Even
It took 3 years for me to see through 2 or 3 projects from scratch to finish. And I
welcome everybody. So now we have Vignesh as a guest. He is basically an architect, my classmate, architect turned photographer now, and he have also explored earth architecture in Bangalore. So, Vignesh, please tell about your journey.
Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, so like Kavin mentioned, both of us studied together in Anna University, and yeah, we got to know each other at that time. And a little bit more about myself. I grew up in Qatar. I did my schooling entirely over there, and then I came to Chennai for studying in college. And I've been in India since then. I worked in Bangalore for a couple of years, and I moved back to Chennai during the beginning of the pandemic, and I started freelancing as a photographer after somewhere in the middle of the pandemic. Yeah.
Now, start with why you chose architecture and what was your, idea behind, and what did you think? Because I had a different, idea
Yeah,
about.
yeah. I think for me, I think it's a little I don't know. It is a little bit unlike most people's story of choosing architecture. A little bit common also. Firstly, I did engineering drawing in my 11th and 12th, which is little uncommon subject that's offered. It's usually offered for the first year of engineering graduates. Um, and I didn't know anything about the subject before choosing my 11th. They didn't know the maths or biology, what group you want to choose. So at that point, I knew I didn't want to do computer science because everyone was opting for it. And I didn't. I saw this other subject, engineering drawing, and I asked my dad what it is, and he had done it in his college time. So he was like, so basically, you will have to visualize how any particular object is from different angles, and you have to draw it. And it seemed kind of interesting and seemed simple also. So I chose it, and I liked it, and that because of that, I started considering something along those lines, or civil or architecture. Then, with as most architects, the reason we chose it because we didn't want to do maths or physics or chemistry. We
Engineering.
wanted something creative. Yeah, engineering went up.
Same.
That was the main drive for choosing architecture.
That's the
It wasn't
same
actually
thing.
a great motivating factor actually.
Uh,
And yeah, so that's the reason I chose between the civil or architecture. I had applied actually for both in university, and I got for both, and I opted architecture because that was the first priority, and civil was the backup.
okay, cool. So, and then how architecture have shaped me as a person, and then it would be the same experience for you, right? Like, as a
Yeah,
course, it would have influenced you in lot many ways as a personality. Like some points about that.
yeah. So I think architecture, not just the course. I think the course affects everyone in a certain way. The college affects us in a certain way,
True.
and the career or the industry affects in a different way. So I'll try to speak about each of that. So the college, I think the environment that we were in, or at least the batch that we were destined to be put in, was a really good environment actually. All of us were kind of open and accepting of each other's personality and characters. There wasn't much bullying or exclusion of any particular character personality. So it was a very good environment to have been in. Um, Apart from that, the college itself, the education, I wouldn't say was the best, because there's a lot more that should have been brought into the curriculum, because it was a lot of about theoretical teaching and very, very little about practical utilization of our skill set. At the end of 5 years, almost most of us would agree that whatever we are doing in our current jobs or works, we don't really implement what we learned in college.
there is a disconnect between what we studied and what we are
yeah,
supposed to practice, right? Yeah.
yeah. That's a very huge disconnect. It's like they teach us all about large scale structures, and at the end, it's like almost nearly not an exact studied percentage or anything, but nearly 70 to 85% of us practice residential architecture only, not
Hmm.
industrial or beyond that scale.
True.
But apart from that, NASA was something that strongly influenced me during college.
Hmm.
Um, because again, that also was technical drawing.
Ah,
I never realized
okay.
it was something connected to school, I guess. Yeah, so I was really drawn to LIK trophy because of the technical drawings and studying buildings in and out of construction techniques and materials and everything. But beyond that, it was because of that group dynamics that really shaped me. Uh, Having to work with a huge bunch of people, and for NASA, we chose a huge temple that we ended up
Yeah, I
documenting it
remember.
more than just one. We ended up documenting three or four temples. So that whole experience taught me a lot about management, about logistics, and how to get
Hmm.
people to do their best work, and how to get different unmatching personalities or mismatching personalities to go along with each other.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
yeah,
as you said, there is a lot of practical aspects missing in the curriculum, which is true. I mean, is that the reason you chose? I mean, I also want to know the reason why you chose earth architecture and spent, like, a considerable amount of time studying that. Because we all have been working in, we started thinking about money and we started moving towards commercial firms by that time, after second year, third year. But you seem to be sticking to that one particular firm that you worked. And then, I mean, I just want to know
yeah,
that
yeah.
part.
So I don't know when exactly, or if it was like a particular point, I can say that I started thinking about sustainability at that point. I think from my like upbringing itself, they've always told that we have to be like careful about resource utilization or even spending anything is a resource, time, money, or food or anything. So I've always been very aware about how I use most of my resources. And when it came to architecture, I was like very drawn to sustainable methods of architecture.
Okay.
So during my internship, we had 2 semesters of internship. So the first one I did in Goa, and second one I did in outside of Bangalore in a village.
Yeah.
The first one also was a sustainable firm, but it was more of a conservation-based firm, which I wasn't very interested in. It was not a lot. Yeah, it was a good experience, that firm. But the second firm was something I was literally dreaming of at the end of the first internship finishing. I was talking to one of the people over there, and we were staying with. Like I was thinking of a village where there'd be a farm and they practicing village architecture and like traditional and vernacular architecture, and what they had a cow and all that. It was like a very dreamy kind of
It
thing
is,
that I
it
had.
looks like so.
Yeah, and at that point, hadn't gotten a response from any firm. I had applied to many, but it was very. I think I applied a little late. I don't know, but I didn't get a response from any firm. And
Okay.
one of our classmates, Shanmati, had mentioned about this Andhagiri architects, and it's a very difficult living condition. So she couldn't go. So she suggested if I'd be willing
Uh,
to sacrifice and go there.
uh-huh.
But then when I opened the Facebook page, I was like, oh my goodness, this is like everything I was hoping for. It was like too good to be true. And yeah,
Uh,
I applied there, and yeah, the internship experience over there was like really amazing. It was
okay.
just me, another friend Prithvi, both of
Yeah.
us had joined, and just two other architects, junior architects, were there in the firm at that particular time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they didn't really treat us as interns. They gave us a lot of responsibilities because it was a
Mm-hmm.
very small firm, and
Office.
at that point there were very limited people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so a lot of hands-on work was there, and
Okay.
the firm itself is very experimental in nature. They do a lot of different construction techniques. And at that
Construction
point, they
techniques
were
on earthy, only earth buildings, right? Like
yeah,
adobe.
on earthen buildings and like with bamboo.
Okay,
Yeah, any sustainable approach.
interesting. Huh.
Yeah, so it was very interesting. The hands-on part of it was really exciting for me because
That is
we
what
never
like
used
any
to.
young architect would crave for, right? I want some hands-on
Yeah,
experience so that I can feel that I'm an architect. Like,
exactly. Like we've always just been drawing and designing and
yeah,
theoretically discussing everything. Like even the basics of just building like a small wall, like mixing clay and sand and
huh.
all that like a complete disconnect for us. And so I was really excited by that. And it helped taught me a lot also
True.
to understand material and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So I after that internship, at the end of college, the junior architect who was working there, she said that if you are interested, you can come back after college. So
Hmm.
like great. So I basically got my job offer
You're
before
like,
my
my
completion.
life is there.
It
I
was,
want to go back.
yeah, it was quite chill because no, it's very unlikely. I mean, in architecture, you don't have any recruitment, any campus recruitment or anything.
True.
So I felt like okay, oh wow, at the end of college, I have a job.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah.
So, and then, how was it? I mean, you were working there for like 2 year or 3 year?
Uh, so, 2 years and 9 or 10 months, roughly,
Okay.
after
After
college.
that, also,
Yeah,
you did not choose like a commercial firm, or I mean, you
I
didn't
did it.
seem to be bothered by this money aspect. Like,
No, I did. I
what was
actually
the
was
reason
bothered
behind
by
that?
it.
Huh?
No, I was bothered by it in the middle of that firm itself. I just didn't want to leave without completing the projects that I had taken up.
Oh, like that. Okay.
Uh, Yeah, so uh, the projects there move at a slow pace compared to typical commercial firms. So because of that, there's always some projects that will get delayed or dropped.
Hmm.
So it took 3 years for me to see through 2 or 3 projects from scratch to finish, and I wanted to be a part of one project from
Starting to end.
initial, yeah, from the design to
Uh,
completion stage.
True.
Yeah,
So, I
but
mean,
I was bothered about it.
what's your take on this young architecture students who are like sustainable, who want to do green buildings, and what is your take on that choice?
I mean, it's completely subjective. It's about what the priority is for that person, and if it is a green certification or if it's the actual green method of thinking that's important to them.
Hmm.
Uh, it's always I would in any day encourage anyone to try a sustainable approach of building,
Hmm.
but there's also a limitation. Even with that firm, we were able to do only residential projects outside of the city,
Okay.
because doing an urban building within the city has a lot of limitations and challenges. Um, Biome is the only firm I think that has successfully uh,
Made this
outgrown that challenge.
sustainability to another level, right? In terms of financially, also they've made it work. If I'm right.
Yeah, financially and by doing it in an urban context, which is very challenging.
Cool.
So, because mainly the soil, you need to have soil in the site to utilize it for the masonry.
Hmm.
Right?
Okay.
So, so because of that, it's relatively easier if it's a larger site or if it's outside of the city. You can source some soil from nearby somewhere else, but that's not possible within the city. Uh,
People feel like, okay, let's just move to abroad, or maybe fill your packets and things like that. Even I've considered, moving to Dubai at times. But you seem to be having a background in Qatar. You seem to be like strongly sticking to India. Like you're ready to change the profession, but not country. So what would be the reason behind that?
um, I think there's a lot more that you can do in India itself.
Hmm.
Just that it's a lot more competitive than any other, I wouldn't
True.
say any other actually equally competitive because once you go to the other country, you are the expatriate over there, and not enough opportunities for expats. It's all relative in a way, but I've never been attracted to go anywhere beyond. I mean, apart from India. Having grown up in Qatar itself, I realized that
So you believe
there's
this chaos is fine than having a lot of
yeah,
money?
I really like this chaos and the kind of people that you get to meet and work with in India
True.
is a lot more than uh, outside. And I don't know if I should even say family is a big anchor point for me here right now because my parents are there.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
with here. Uh, but I don't know something about India that hasn't allowed me to look at elsewhere. Like, if you were to travel, like when I was working in Bangalore, like every month, all of us used to travel wherever we felt like whatever was possible for the time.
Yeah.
That's not possible anywhere else. Like with the
Ah,
kind of amount of money that we make, we were able to do all of that, but
ah.
it's not possible at the
Oh,
same scale in different countries. You'll have to be relatively more expensive, but the kind of money that you'll be saving in the same profession is not
true.
significantly better over there.
Oh, okay.
A different profession, my opinion would be very different.
Hmm.
For some other industry and all. Definitely, going outside and working in a different country has a lot of advantages. But for architecture and photography per se, I don't see a significant difference by moving out of the country.
Okay.
Unless I'm going for like a corporate job
Huh.
or an MNC job, which I personally can never do because I worked for 1 month in a corporate environment and I couldn't.
Survive.
I'd rather I'd rather make very little amount of money and be happy with the kind of work that I'm doing rather than make so much money and not enjoy 80% of my life, which will be my work.
Oh, yeah. People feel like, okay, let's just move to abroad or maybe fill your packets and things like that. Even I've considered, moving to Dubai at times. But you seem to be having a background in Qatar. You seem to be like strongly sticking to India. Like you're ready to change the profession, but not country. So what would be the reason behind that?
Um, I think there's a lot more that you can do in India itself.
Hmm,
Just that it's a lot more competitive than any other. I wouldn't
true.
say any other country also is actually equally competitive because once you go to the other country, you are the expatriate over there and not enough opportunities for expats. It's all relative in a way, but I've never been attracted to go anywhere beyond, I mean, apart from India. Having grown up in Qatar itself, I realized that
So you believe
there's
this chaos is fine than having a lot of
yeah,
money?
I really like this chaos and the kind of people that you get to meet and work with in India
True.
is a lot more than outside. And I don't know if I should even say family is a big anchor point for me here right now because my parents are there.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
with here. Uh, but I don't know something about India that hasn't allowed me to look at elsewhere. Like, if you were to travel, like when I was working in Bangalore, like every month, all of us used to travel wherever we felt like whatever was possible for the time.
Yeah.
That's not possible anywhere else. Like with the
Ah,
kind of amount of money that we make, we were able to do all of that, but
ah.
it's not possible at the
Oh,
same scale in different countries. You'll have to be relatively more expensive, but the kind of money that you'll be saving in the same profession is not
true.
significantly better over there.
Oh, okay.
A different profession, my opinion would be very different.
Hmm.
Uh, for some other industry and all, definitely going outside and working in a different country has a lot of advantages. But for architecture and photography per se, I don't see a significant difference by moving out of the country.
Okay.
Unless I'm going for like a corporate job
Huh.
or an MNC job, which I personally can never do because I worked for 1 month in a corporate environment and I couldn't.